Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. I feel like I'm off center, but yeah, I think there's more space on this side. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a book haul for my birthday, which was 2 days ago on the 2nd. I'm 24. I think I have 15 books. I will say that some of this is collective. I've definitely had some of these books for at least a couple of months, but a lot of them are from my birthday. Crazy because we have been in this apartment now for like 8 months, and we already know that we are not gonna stay in it for another year. So this is the first time that you guys are seeing this setup, which is actually one of my favorite parts of this apartment. But I am back in the swing, and hopefully that there's going to be more videos in front of this setup, and it's definitely something that we're going to recreate when we move into a different apartment and hopefully have a little bit more space too. I kind of wanted this video to be a little bit on the shorter side, so I think that I'm going to just kind of rapid fire through the books that I have, and then maybe do like a little bit of an update. But I really feel like that a life update deserves its own video in its entirely. Like, genuinely, so many things have happened since I've consistently filmed, so I'm excited to share with you all. This book that I have is The Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. This is genuinely just a hype purchase for me. I have seen it all over Book Talk, TikTok. I heard that it was just a really good way to ease yourself into some fantasy, since that's something that I generally don't read. From my understanding, it is about this girl, and her mom is like, I'm not sure if she's like a leader of a school. I think it's like different quadrants that you can go to for school. I think that she knew she was going to be going through like this more history, like English literature route, and her mom kind of tells her that she's going to be going through like this fighter route, and she is like more on the smaller side. She's not interested in it at all. All the other students, like, they don't like her. They know that she kind of just was told. They don't feel like she fits in, and I think there's like some romance and everything. Like, there's this big map. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I heard that it was so good. Like, people are like, now what am I supposed to do? I finished the book already, but the font is so small. Oh my gosh. So my glasses, that was a birthday gift from me to me. I needed a new pair of glasses so bad. I had like the same pair for like a couple of years, which is usually what I do. Expensive, and I usually take my glasses off for videos because there's a glare. Now that we are in a new space, I kind of don't have a glare because I'm not directly facing the window like I used to, so I'm gonna need those for that. What I have is Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang. I have already heard so much about this, good and bad. So this is about a author who is friends with another author, and the author passes away, and she goes on to claim her friend's work as her own and publishes it and takes credit for it. And I think it just kind of deals with the grief that she feels, but also people are kind of like starting to be like, I don't think you wrote this, like this doesn't look like it's your work. And I also think that, if I can remember correctly, the author who steals this other author's work is kind of like wanting her big break, and the other author was very successful. I have heard this go 2 different ways. I've heard that it was really, really well done. I've also heard that it was not well done. So I'm excited, and I think this author is the same author who wrote Babel, which is like this really long fantasy book. I'm not particularly interested in that, but when I saw that she had a shorter fiction, general fiction novel, I was like, okay, let's give it a try. So I'm excited about this one. I have a ton of short story essay collections. As y'all know, that's what I love. So I have Two Nurses Smoking by David Means. It is a short story collection. I'm not really sure if it necessarily surrounds a hospital setting. I think that it is like kind of like a hospital setting-esque sort of collection, but it is kind of like your love, life, loss, friendship sort of thing. My sort of thing. I just love that kind of thing. So picked it up. I have Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. This is one of the ones that I picked up a while ago, probably like back in May. And you know, super popular on BookTube and Book Talk. I actually would save this for like when it gets as cold as it's gonna get here, like, you know, in November or December. But this is about a girl who's a figure skater, and she is, I think, really into her craft, and she ends up like running into this guy who's the hockey player, and they have like a romance, and it's thick. So I think it's gonna be juicy, and I'm excited to read it when it gets a little bit colder outside. The book I have is my girl Sherry Lapina, An Unwanted Guest. I like Sherry Lapina. I'm not gonna lie, like really her books for me are not 5-star reads, but they are reading slump reads. If you know me, like they move so fast, like they get me inspired to read again. So I really enjoy all of her books. I love them because I feel like they get me out of a reading slump. So this one kind of just surrounds an inn, like a cottage sort of getaway in the mountains. I don't know, I think it probably has a cast of characters because it's like, I guess, this really safe kind of vacation place, and someone goes missing, and it's in this really safe town, and it's kind of just, I'm guessing, follows those prerogatives. I really like Sherry Lapina. I think that some of her writing is a little bit repetitive, just a little, but I still like it. I just like the pace that she goes. So excited about this one at some point whenever I get to it. One I've been wanting to read for a while, Empire of Pain by Patrick Radden Keefe. And this is basically a history book about the like epidemic and the way that oxycodone has become a huge issue in the medical and pharmaceutical industry, and the family behind it. I think it's like 3 generations of families, and I guess just the financial impact, the impact that it has had on people, what they're willing to do to kind of push and make a profit, although it impacts people. And so I'm just really interested in this one. I think that this is a chunky one, so when I get to it, I'm excited to get to it. The next book that I have is A Manual for Cleaning Women by Lucia Berlin. This is another story collection. I think it is fiction, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe that it is surrounding the lives of women who are kind of hovering in that lower class, sort of lower to lower end of middle class. Like just the people who are kind of scooting by sort of thing, just their day-to-day lives. And I just thought it looks really intriguing. Might be nonfiction, I'll have to see, but I'm excited about this one. Next book that I have is Life Ceremony Collection of Stories by Sayaka Murata. She wrote Convenience Store Woman, which I really liked last year. It's like a mix of humor, horror, and just like life stories in modern day Japan. And I'm like, I know it's gonna be just lit because I loved Convenience Store Woman. It was so good. And I'm just really trying to get more into translated works of literature. So like it's a story collection, it's lit, like what else is there to say? The book that I have is Goodbye Vitamin, a novel by Rachel Kong. I'm not gonna lie, the cover is what more so drew me in. I think this is gonna be more of a somber kind of like general fiction read. It is about a woman whose life is sort of kind of, her life is kind of crumbling apart. She's divorced, she's just getting divorced, she's moving back home with her parents. I think that her mom has some issues and they have a complicated relationship, and it's kind of just about that journey together. So I'm excited about this one. The cover drew me in. This one I'm really excited about, The Facemaker by Lindsay Fitzharris. It is about doctor, and she is kind of detailing her experiences in World War I or II, and it's like a history book, and it's about a I guess it is a surgeon, and their experiences constructing the faces of soldiers that have been injured in the war. I think it's going to be so interesting. I read a like medical sort of, I guess you could say it was a memoir about a medical examiner earlier this year, and it was so good. I love like medical books and terminology, so I'm really excited about this one. I think it might be something that I pick up next. We'll see. And I have another story collection, but really I loved it because of the cover. It's called Bliss Montage by Ling Ma. She's the author of Severance, and this is another one that's like life, love, friendship, loss, betrayal, and it's by Ling Ma, who wrote Severance, which I haven't read, but I have it, so I'm like, let's get into it. Sometimes, like, do you ever have, this is really not good, but like, you have the collection of the books by an author and you've only read like one, and you just hope that you like it? Like, I have 3 of Emily Henry's books that I've had for like years now, and I just read 2 this year, and I know people live and breathe for Emily Henry. They were both 3 stars for me, and it's like, dang, like I've like got your collection, girl. So just funny. This one I've been seeing for a while. It's called A Touch of Gin by Beth Morgan. It is about this couple who is like obsessed with this girl named Jen. They like follow her on social media. Everything that she does is like just super like cool. Like they like just live and breathe her, and then they end up running into her in person, and she invites them to her like really upscale, like wealthy, like upper class, like I think it's like a lake house or something, and then the couple just sort of starts to spiral from there. And I think it's like kind of a mix of horror and just that a focus on classism. So that's actually even more than what the hell I thought this was going to be about. So I'm excited about this one. I've been seeing the cover like all over the place for like the past year, so I'm gonna get into this one soon. All right, y'all, so this one, the classic The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. And then when I was trying to do my due diligence to even see, like, I remember somebody reviewing it. I'm pretty sure it was Amy Reads, because she reads a lot of classics. So I'm like, oh, let me just like turn it around and like see what the synopsis is, because that makes the video go faster so I don't have to be looking at the back. Ain't no synopsis on this one. Ain't no synopsis on this one. But the synopsis, it is about a boy who gets expelled from school. I think he's 16, and he goes on like a 2-day journey around New York City, trying to understand the meaning of life and what it is to be an adult or a child, and he's like not thriving. So I'm excited about that. I'm not a classics girl, but I want to be. Like, I want to be. So I'm ready to get into it. That is another thick romance. The romances are like getting juicy this year. So yours truly, Abby Jimenez. I've heard really great things about this author in general. This is about a doctor, and she is like having a hard time. And so this new male doctor comes in and starts working at her practice. He's already getting a lot of praise. She doesn't like him. She has some personal stuff going on with her family. This is all in the synopsis. It felt like it gave away a lot. And he ends up writing her like a note. They're vibing, and her brother needs a kidney. He offers the kidney, and it just goes from there. I've heard that she has like just really good, clean romance, and that I just heard that this was so good. So, you know me, word of mouth. Picked it up, excited. We are nearing the final stretch. I have 2 books left, and they're both by the same author. So I have A Stranger in the House by Sherry Lapina. I have literally 3 books of hers in this video. I started reading this and I got about halfway through, like 150 pages or so. It's not a DNF. It's just at that time I was just not in the place to read it. But it is about a woman, and I'm gonna try not to give too much away, but she basically has amnesia. She's like on this rough side of town, and she's like the sort of woman that wouldn't be on that rough side of town. And yeah, she's like runs into a pole, police find her, and no one knows like what happened. Her husband's like, what the hell? She's like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why, it just wasn't holding my attention. But I got so far into it I've had a rough reading year, I'm not gonna lie. This year my goal was 60, which is this is the biggest goal I've had. I made my goal 60 because last year it was 30. I was starting teaching, so I was like, I don't want to pressure myself. If I get past 30, I actually think it might have been 25. If I get past that number, then it's lit, like I'll go past it. I ended up passing that number around the middle point of last year, and I read like 55. So I felt like 60 was a comfortable challenge. I've read 18 books this year. It is August, so I have 4 months to finish my goal. One thing about me, I'm not gonna throw the towel in on something that I really want, so I'm gonna try my best to get to 60. That there's been a lot of change going on in my life, so it's like, to me, a lot of the books that I've been reading them so much longer than what they were intended to be read, and I end up rating them lower than really what they were probably should be rated, like Emily Henry. And there's just been a few books that I have like literally been reading for like 2 weeks, and when I finish I'm like, okay, 2 stars. But I think it's because it's taken me so much longer to read. Now things are a little bit smoother and like starting to like level out as far as just different stuff that I will let you guys know about later. And I'm starting to finally like pick up the pace, and usually a good book that I really like, I can read in probably like 2 to 3 days. If it's a long book or like something that's just not really holding my attention that well, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a low rating, it may take me like a week. So I'm kind of getting back into a rhythm, so we'll see. And the last book that I have that I'm actually almost done with, that I started reading on August 1st, is Everyone Here is Lying by Sherry Lapina. Her newest book to come out, I think it came out July 25th. I didn't even know what the hell this one was about, but I knew that because she's my girl, I'm gonna get it. This was like on my like anticipated to be read, and it's really good. This is like, I'm not gonna lie, like I said, all her books are pretty similar because they have a similar setting, but to me this one is different, and I think that it's her best yet. Like I said, she's not like a 5-star author for me, but her writing style, like I can just jive with it. I just really enjoy like her pace and like just the suburban like thrillers. I do. I'll give it just a little bit away because this is in the first chapter. It is about a family who has a child, and the child goes missing. The father is the person that last saw the child, and he lies about that. That's all I'll say. It's in the first chapter. I don't even think that was a good synopsis, but I've read so much of it that I don't want to give too much away by accident. So, and everyone, legitimately everybody is lying, and it's just giving. So that's my haul. Thank you guys so much for watching. It feels so good to sit back down in front of the camera again. I can't wait to record and film more videos. Bye.